Looking back at 2 consecutive sit-ins of the National Assembly when the government failed to move forward with the 4 bills necessary for local government elections, which have been held back by a decade and a half, leader of the Alliance for Change, Khemraj came to one conclusion.
It is clear as daylight now. Government does not want local government elections to happen at the bottom end of this year or the very early quarter of next year. We had gotten some information that they had wanted our support for the Amila motion and the bill, and then they were not going to support the local government. That is why we upped those items on the agenda. When they remained mute on the argument that, that ought not to have been done, we really caught them with their pants down, because our inside information indicated and was being vindicated at that point in time.
Ramjatan said his party, which holds 7 seats in the National Assembly and holds the balance of power, has no problem supporting the legislation to make the area around Amila Falls a protected area. But he said the party will not be made to support a motion to raise the debt ceiling, allowing public corporations to borrow from $1 billion that it is now to $150 billion under guarantee from the government. The AFC has been maintaining that it will wait until the Inter-American Development Bank says the project is feasible until it throws its support behind the hydro project, but raising the debt ceiling is out of the question.
Government wants that capacity, and it's leveraging us National Assembly people to support it so that it could then have that capacity to go borrow any which way it wants. So even if the due diligence is not supported by the IDB, they now, let's say NISIL or GPL, being a public corporation, can go borrow $750 million to say, make a deal with the Chinese or some other company to expend a big project of that capacity. So it is largely to get money to spend, and it has nothing to do, and I want to make that clear, the IDB never ever attached it and made it referable to the Amila Falls deal.
We don't really support the concept of horse trading, but we've been saying in our internal discussions within the Parliament that all the political parties have to get to a level when we can negotiate. We have to sit down and negotiate in the interest of this country. And you cannot negotiate unless all the parties are willing to negotiate. If you have one person that comes in and insists it is this way or no way at all, we will continue to have gridlock.
The government has sought to suggest that they will return to the National Assembly with the legislation to support the hydro project on August 7th, provided it wins support in negotiations with the opposition. Ramjatan today said there has been no approach to the AFC for discussions. Ramjatan said the government must put the local government bills back at the top of the agenda, or at the very least commit to passing them and having the president assent to them before it can get support for its other business.